My name is Sofia Moreno, and this is my project about Mission San Diego de Alcala. For my project, I visited Presidio Park, the Mission, and the Old Mission Dam. This cross in Presidio Park is where Padre Serra and the soldiers of Spain raised a cross and dedicated the Mission San Diego de Alcala on July 16, 1769. This mission was the first permanent European settlement in what is now California. It is the birthplace of San Diego. The park has this Padre statue and this Kumeyaay Indian statue. The Indians didn't like the Padres taking away their land and attacked the mission and killed Father Serra's assistant only 1 month after it was dedicated. From this hill, you can see all the way to the ocean. You can also see the remaining mounds where the Presidios stood. At the top of the park, it looks like a mission, but is actually a museum called Junipero Serra Museum. It was dedicated in 1929 for the 160th birthday celebration of San Diego. Inside, you will find a number of touchscreens, TVs, telling the story of the mission. 5 years later, the mission was moved from Presidio Hill up the valley where it would be closer to the river and the land was better for farming. Now let's visit the mission. From outside, the mission is beautiful. The mission is the first of 21 missions built in California. Let's go inside the central courtyard and look around. This is where we will be starting our tour. Here is the house where the Padres stayed. There's the bed over there. There's a violin on the desk. And that back wall right there is the only original wall that was there. This is the first out of 5 churches that were on this side. Let's look inside the church. The church is not as old as it looks, but more about that a little bit later. As we go inside the garden, we see the bell tower or the campanario. The garden is peaceful and filled with beautiful plants. Here's the statue of Father Serra. Here is the Father Jaime Museum. That door can use some oil. This wall shows the history of the area. Originally, the Kumeyaay lived in this area. Then the priests were told to build the missions by the King of Spain. Later, the Mexican government took control of the area from the priests. This was known as secularization. After the Mexican-American War, the U.S.-American military occupied the building until 1862, when the church was given back to the Catholic Church. It was built in 1813, but after the Mexican government took control of the church in 1834, it was left to fall down. The church was nothing but ruins for a long time, but the restoration of the church began in 1930 and completed in 1941 when it was rededicated as a parish church. The flume was part of an elaborate water system, and we're going to go see if we can find the dam. As we leave the museum, we see a lot of beautiful plants. Across the courtyard, we see where the convent stood in 1806. Here you can see the original 4 tiles that were discovered during the excavation of the site. No further excavation is allowed because the Kumeyaay consider this to be hollowed ground. It is called an iwa. It feels pretty comfortable.
It does.
Sure. Outside the mission, we see a cross where Father Jaime was killed during a huge Indian attack in 1775, where the first mission was burned to the ground. We're at Mission Trails Regional Park, and this is another awa we found. The Visitor Center tells a lot about the Kumeyaay. Here it says, "We are the Kumeyaay who have lived along the San Diego River for many thousand years." It also says Kumeyaay men, women, and children built the dam. The flume was the first irrigation system in California. Now we're going to see if we can find the old Mission Dam. We found it! This is where the old Mission Dam is. You see it? The water? I wonder if you can go fishing there. I think this part of the valley is even more beautiful than the garden at the mission. Now I understand why the Kumeyaay didn't want the Padres to take their land. So that is my report on Mission San Diego de Alcala. Today, the restored mission is a beautiful Catholic church and represents the first permanent European settlement in California.